أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Welcome to Understand Al-Quran the Easy Way, Course 6. Lesson 25A and B. Today we will study the murakabat, meaning the compounds. We saw the grammar has two parts. Sarf, it is concerned with the constructions of the words from the letters. Just like fa and lam, we developed so many words. Fa'il, maf'ul, fa'altum, yaf'aluna, if'al, fa'al, or fa'al. Or the next part is called grammar naf. It is concerned with the joining the words to make either pairs or to make sentences. Now, today we will see what are the different types of field and the properties of the awab slasi mazid field. So in this QC6, we have the revised the detail of ism, gender, number, kind, state. Then revise the asma mustaka, that is specify isme tabdil, isme mubalgha, isme makan. Then we will study revise with the addition arab of the ism, that is marfuat, mansubat, majurat. And then we have the revised types of the fi'l, just like mazid, fi, and salasi mujarrad. Then types of the fi'l with the characteristics of verb, that is lazim and mutaddi fal. Then we will revise the arab of the fi'l, just like mu'adrib, mabni, munsrif, ghair munsrif. Then we will have the revisions with the additions of the murakabat, that is murakab idafi, murakab shari, murakab jari, murakab tawsifi. Then we will revise with the addition of the murakabat in the shape of jumla ismiya, jumla fi'liya, jumla shartiya. And then in addition, we will have the haruf amil and ghair amil, amila and ghair amil. This is our syllabus of the QC6 grammar. So, fi'l, what is fi'l? In Arabic language, all words have some original letters called the root letters. Some have the extra letters. Sometimes extra letters come for these tenses. Changes like in yafalu, afalu comes from hamza and ya. Sometimes the extra letter point out a file, like in we say fa'alat and fa'alu, and come ta and waw as a file sign. So fi'l, root letters wise, fi'l has three types. One is called the sulasi, mean the only three letters. These three letters, example is fataha, aslama. Now look, in aslama, you can say there are four letters, but actually the root letter is three, sin, lam, in. So they are the slasi. And the aslama is the mazid fi out of slasi. Then are the rubai root letter, those have the four letters in root. Just like zalzala, waswasa, their basic root letters are four. What is the difference between the mazid fi and the basic root letter of the rubai? Rubai have four basic root letters. And slasi mujarrad, they have only three root letters, though they have the extra letter. Maybe just like when we say babe fal, there is hamza and alif za. So it is possible at times you may have extra letters, but they are not part of the root letter. As per the root letter wise, there may be three root letter word, four root letter, or the fifth is khomasi. Five root letters have not come in the Quran as a afal. They have come the asma only. So tense wise, the fail is of two types. Madi, it tells about some work or the action in the past tense. Just like fataha, allama, istaghfara. It doesn't matter the fail belong to slasi mujarrad or mazid fi slasi, but it tells something happened in the past. The second is called the mudari, fail mudari. tells about some work or actions in the present or the future tense. Just like yaftahu, yu'allimu, yustah. So they just tell the action has been occurring or is occurring in the present and the future. The word may be Salasi Mujarrad, maybe Mujarrad, or maybe even Rubai. The root letter wise, we can say Salasi mean 3 letters. When only 3 letters, we call Mujarrad. 3 letters in the past. First Sila. Just like Fataha, Nasara, Qala, they all have only 3 letters. And it may be called Mazid Fi, mean more than 3 letters in the past first Sila. Just like Aslama, Allama, Hasama, they all have an extra letter, Hamza, and the repeated letter, or maybe a Alif. What is the Rubai? Rubai actually they have 4 letters. When there are only 4 letters in the past first form, then we call Mujarrad Rubai. And just like Zalzala, Damdama, Ba'asa, they are actually 4 root letters. Nothing is extra in it. But if something come extra than these 4 letters, then they are called Mazid Fi of Rubai. More than 3 letters in past first Sira. Just such fail hasn't come in the Musaf. So we are not using the Rubais. The majority of the verbs in the Quran coming from Salasi, Mujarrad or Mazid Fi. So we learned that in detail. The root letter wise, we can say fail may be Sahih. No weak letter in root letters. Just like Fataha, Allama, Istaghfara. You may say in Astaghfara there is a Hamza. No, the root letter, what are? We will remove the alif sin ta. They are extra. Fa, ghain, fa, ghain, fa, ra is the root letter. They are sound letters. And they may be the mu'tal. When we say mu'tal, some weak letters in the root letter is called mu'tal. Just like wahaba, qala, da. All the 3 have weak letter. Difference is that weak letter either come in the beginning or start of the verb, may come in the mid or center of the verb, may come at the end of the verb. That is the difference. So the fail Sahih may be Salim, no Hamza, no double letter in root letter, just like Fataha, Allama, Istaghfara. It may be Mahmuz. What is Mahmuz? When Hamza letters in the root letter come, is called Mahmuz. Mahmuz is of 3 types. The Hamza may come in the beginning, just like Amara. It may come in the middle, just like Sallah. The Hamza may come at the end, just Qara. When the Hamza come in the beginning of a verb, then this is called Mahmuzul Fa. Fa means you have learned Fa'ala, Fa and Lam, 3 letters. So it means the Hamza is coming in place of Fa letter of the Fa'il. When the Hamza come in the middle, we call it Mahmuzul Ain because it is coming in the place of Ain, Fa'in Lam, and Kalma. When it comes at the end, we say Mahmuzul Lam, mean the Hamza is coming in place of Lam, Fa'ala. So we say when any field showing a Hamza, that category is called Mahmuz. If the Hamza is in the beginning, it's called Mahmuzul Fa. If in the middle, we say Mahmuzul Ain. When it is at the end, we say Mahmuzul Lam. Why? Because Fa and Lam are fixed in the grammar for the verb. 3 letter. First is always called Fa, second is called Ain Kalma, and third is called the Lam Kalma. So when the Hamza coming in place of Fa, we say Mahmuzul Fa. When the Hamza coming in place of Ain, we say Mahmuzul Ain. When the Hamza come in place of Lam, we say Mahmuzul Lam. The third type of the fail is Mud'af. The Mud'af, what does? Double letter in the root, repeated letter. Just like Zanna, Nun is coming twice. Dalla, Lam is coming twice. Massa, sin is coming. So such letters are called mudaf. Salim, mahmuz, mudaf. This is one category of verbs. Salim, all the three letters are sound. If it's mazid fi, again, and lam mim the root letter. Istafara, ghain fa ra is the root letter, which are the sound letter. And if they have hamza, we will call mahmuz. If in the start hamza, mahmuzul fa. In the mid hamza, mahmuzul ain. At the end hamza, mahmuzul lam. Just like amara salaka. If there is double letter in the verb, we call ma mudaf. Mudaf, zanna, dalla, massa. Then there is another type of verb called misal. What is that? The first letter is weak in root letters. Just like wahaba, wa'ada, yassira, yasira. All the three weak letters coming in the beginning. When the weak letter come in the beginning, we call the verb misal. Ajwaf. Ajwaf means when the weak letter coming in the middle letter is the weak in the root letter. Just like kala, taba, zada. In all these three verbs, the alif is coming in the middle, which is a weak letter. So they will call ajwaf. Then is a nakis. Nakis means when the weak letter come at the end of a word. Last letter is weak in root letter, just like da, hada, radiya. So this way we divide the afal in different group. It may be salim, it may be mahmuz, it may be mudaf, it may be misal, ijwaf, and nakis. So after this, we have another type called lafif mafruq and lafif makrun. Lafif is that when there are two weak letters at a time in the word. That is called lafif. In nakis or jwef misal, if two weak letters come in a verb, we call lafif. Lafif makrun mean the weak letters are close, just like hayy, ya and ya coming close. And mafruq mean farq, they have a difference. Just like waqiya, waw coming in the beginning, ya is coming at the end, and in between is a sound letter, cough. So that is the lafif mafruq and lafif makruh. So lafif is the type of the word where there are two weak letters. They may be separate, they may be close. When they are separate, we say lafif mafruq. When they're close, we say lafif makruh. Then the fail can be divided in another pattern that is called lazim and mutadi. Lazim are those fail which don't need a file. Such a fail which don't require a maf'ul, not file but maf'ul. And talk is understood without only a file called lazim. Mutadi is such a fail which requires a maf'ul. Talk is not understood with a file. It's called mutadi. The example of lazim is zahaba, he went. No maf'ul is required. Dahika, he laughed. No maf'ul is required. Jalasa, he said. No maf'ul is required. So these are called the lazim of. Mutadi example is halaka, he created. Until unless there is some maf'ul which is being created, the action of creation cannot be completed. Daraba, he bet or he hit. Until unless there is some maf'ul which should be hit physically, the action of daraba, hit or the bet cannot be completed. Akala, he ate. To complete this action, we need something to be eaten, and that something is maf'ul. So what is the difference between lazim and mutadi? Lazim, they don't require any maf'ul. Without maf'ul, the action can be completed. Just like laughing, going, sitting, they can be done with the file only, no maf'ul. But when we say khalaqa, daraba, akala, to complete these actions, we need some maf'ul, and that is called mu'tadi. This such verb which required a maf'ul is called mu'tadi. So then we study the fi'l on the pattern of mujarrad, salasi mujarrad. There were 6 patterns. Fa mean fatah. Nun mean nasara. Sorry. Fataha bab, the nasara bab, dot daraba bab, sin samia bab, kaf karuma bab, ha hasaba. In simply, you can say Salasi Mujarrad, the Mujarrad has 6 bab. Fataha, Nasara, Daraba, Samiya, Karuma, and Hasib. Then becomes Salasi Mazid Fi. The Salasi Mazid Fi, they have 8 sound bab. Babi Taf'il, Babi Mufa'ala, Babi If'al, Babi Iftiyal, Babi Istifal, Babi Tafa'ul, and Tafa'ul, and Infial. So this is the pattern of the Salasi Muzid Fi. Sound verb, 8. In Salasi Muzid, sound verb are only 6. Fataha, Nasara, Daraba, Samiya, Karuma, and Hasib. In Mazid Fi, we have 8 patterns. Actually, in Mazid Fi, we can't say 8, they are 16 actually. But in Mashaf, only these 8 are frequently used. So we talk about these 8. Otherwise, in grammar, Arabic grammar, they are 16. So let's to go the properties of the verb of Salasi Mazid Fi. The properties of a verb may be the verb of the Salasi may have some special meanings. Any verb may has one or more than one property, or some field may has all property even, or some may have few, and some may have some properties and may not have the others. What are these properties of Mazid Fi? They may be participations property and gradually occurring property, exaggerations property, contingence property, abundance property, the arrangements property, to demand property, frankness property, being contagious, or to be necessary. So these are the different properties of Mazid Fi verb. It's possible some verb may have only one property, some may have more than one property, or some may have even the all properties. That is possible. So let's to take the 8 sound verb of the Mazid. First is Babi Taf'il. The pattern is with the word Ta'aleem. This verb has 4 characteristics. Making something mu'tadi, from lazim to mu'tadi, means to do by arrangements, doing the stepwise, slowly, and meaning of exaggeration. So these are 4 properties of this Babi Taf'il. Making something mu'tadi, or means to do by arrangements, or doing stepwise, slowly, or meaning of the exaggerations come in this verb. For example, from Fahima, Fahma we come from Fahima. Mean all 4 characteristics found in this verb. For example, from Nazzala, Nazzal. From Nazala, Nazzal. It has all 4 characteristics. There is from Zabbaha, Zabbah. It has only 2 properties, arrangement and exaggeration. From Katala, Katala, Kattala. It has exaggeration and the arrangements property. The next verb is Mufa'ala. The word is Mufahasiba and the verb name is Mufa'ala. This verb has only 3 characteristics. Participations, mean the participation both in the verb, arrangements, and exaggerations. Just like from Katala, Katala. Katalama, it have all the three characteristics of this verb. From Jadala, Jadala, all the three characteristics. From Jahada, 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 it have only two, exaggeration and arrangements property. From Hajara, Hajara, arrangement and exaggeration. The next verb is Babi Ifal. The pattern word was Islam. This verb has only two characteristics, making the imperative transitive or making the mutadi further mutadi. For example, lazim to mutadi, example is from kharaja, akhraja. Another example, lazim to mutadi is from nazala, anzala. Making mutadi further mutadi, the example is ta'ima, at'ama. Mutadi further mutadi, making an example one is naka, ankaha. The next bab is babi iftiyar. Ikhtalafa is the pattern. This bab has three characteristics, making the transitive to imperative, arrangement, and exaggerations. Arrangement and exaggeration example is from kasaba, iktasaba. Arrangement and exaggerations, the example is karuba, iktaraba. Another example is from samia, istama'a. All the three characteristics, example is janaba, istanaba. Note, characteristic of making lazim to mutadi is in few of this bab, not all. The next bab is babi istifal. The example was istifal. This bab has only one characteristic but can has three meanings. That is the demanding characteristic, questioning, and the desiring. So these three meanings arises from it. Demanding and asking example is from ghafara, istaghfara. Demanding and asking another example is from nasara, istansara. Demanding example is from ajala, istajala. Desiring example is from kabura, istakbara. This bab has four characteristics. Babe tafawul, tadabbara pattern. What are they? Making mutadi to lazim, means of takalluf, mean an arrangement and meaning of gradually occurring something. Mutadi to lazim, takalluf, and arrangement, these three are found. The example is from alima, ta'allama. Mutadi to lazim, takalluf, and arrangement, again example is from karuba, takarraba. Takalluf and arrangement property found in from baddala, tabaddala. Takalluf and the arrangement graduative example was shabbaha, tashabbaha. The next bab is babe tafa'ul, mean tadarus. This bab has three characteristics. What are they? Participation, magnificence, and exaggeration. Participation example is kabila, takabala. Participation exaggeration example is from fakhara, tafakhara. Another example is baraka, tabaraka. Another example is from Allah, ta'ala. The next bab is babe infial, inqilab. This bab has only one characteristic, making mu'tadi to lazim. Example is from sarafa, in sarafa. From kata, in kata. From hadama, in hadama. From kasara, in kasara. Now, what is fail ma'loom? Yes, the fail may be ma'loom or maybe majhul. The ma'loom fail is that where the file is known. Majhul is that where the file is unknown. So we can say the fail whose file is known is called fail ma'loom or fail ma'roof or the active verb. And the example is khalaqallahu al-arda. Allah created the insan. Who created the insan? Allah created. So file is known. Who is creating? Allah has created them. So it's a fail ma'roof, mean ma'loom or active verb. In this case, khalaqa is fail and Allah is the file. Let's take another example. Akala rajlu fakiha. The man ate the apple or the fruit. Man ate the fruit. So in this case, akala is the fail and ar-rajul is the file. So file is known who is doing that action. What is fail majhul? Where the file is unknown. The fail whose file is not known is called fail majhul or the passive voice. Fail majhul is related to maf'ul. Mean in this case, the marfu word coming after fail is actually the maf'ul. This marfu word name is called naib file because it's coming in place of file. Example is khulikal insan. Yes. Who is the file in this case? You have to find out.
الإنسان.
Al-insan is not a file.
Okay, Holiko. Fine, okay.
The khulika
Holiko.
is indicating.
Is hidden inside the hulika.
Khulika is indicating it is majhul, mean file is unknown. The insan which is following after this majhul fail is actually naib file. It is coming in place of file. It is actually maf'ul coming in the place. How? Because khulika word is telling. If it was khalaqal insan, we never say khalaqal insan. We say khalaqal insana. Insan is maf'ul. Khalaqa, we know in khalaqa, huwa is the file. Khalaq is a fail and insan is a not file in this case. There is another example. Ukilati al-fakiha. Ukilati al-fakiha. Who is a file in this case?
Put Fatia.
No. Ukila means she was eaten. She was eaten means eating file is not there. Ukilatil fakita, she was eaten apple. Apple was eaten. Yeah, fruit was eaten. Fruit is not a file. Somebody has eaten it. So it's a knife file. So ukila is a fail and al-fakia is the knife file. Unzil al-Qur'ana. Who is the file in this case? File is not known. Unzila. He was descended. He was sent. Who is sending? Is not known. So we will say Quran was revealed. Anzala is the fail majhul because it is not showing the file. And Al-Quran is the na file, though it is showing the Dhamma. Why it's showing Dhamma? Because it's coming in place of file. Actually, it is not file, it is maf'ul. So when the maf'ul come in place of fa'il, we call it naib fa'il. So what are the rule? In fi'l ma'lum, relation is towards the fa'il. Fa'il is unknown in fi'l majhul, so the relation of fi'l is towards the maf'ul. And maf'ul does not become the fa'il, so we call it naib fa'il. In fi'l ma'lum, the fi'l comes as per the gender of the fa'il. In case of majhul, comes as per the gender of the fi'l, not the fa'il. If fi'l is single, the maf'ul may be single. If fi'l is masculine, the maf'ul may be masculine. If the fi'l is plural, the maf'ul may be plural. But in this majhul case, these maf'ul will become as a marfu and call naib fa'il. Due to coming in place of fa'il, the maf'ul is called as naib fa'il. I'rab of the naib fa'il is marfu, which gives this impression actually it is fa'il. But the verb showing with dhamma start indicate fa'il is unknown, because it comes in place of fa'il, so called the naib fa'il. So the weight of the fi'l majhul in Salasi Mujarrad, what is the pattern or the way of the Salasi Mujarrad? In Madi, we say fu'ila. Any fi'l coming on this pattern, first letter mean the fa kalma having dhamma, second letter mean the ain kalma having kasra, and the lam kalma having fatah is called the Madi majhul pattern, fu'ila. In case of mudari, the pattern or the weight is yufalu. The first letter ilamat mudari have dhamma, and the letter before the last letter, here in case it is ain and kalma, have fatah. And the lam kalma, of course, continue past, being the mudari a dhamma. Look how to do the table of fi'l madi majhul. We have got a verb fataha. So the first form will be futiha, mean he was open. Fataha, he opened. In fataha, he opened. He is a five. But when we say futiha, he was opened, there is no five. What will be the plural of futiha? Futihu. Two will be futiha, plural will be futihu. Futiha, he was open. Futiha, they too were open. Futihu, they were open. Let's to take the front plural. The front second person. Futihta, you were open. For dual, we'll say futih. Tuma, you too were open. For plural, we'll say futih. Tum, you all were open. Let's to take for the feminine singular. We say futihat. She was open. File is unknown. Futihata, they two females were open. Futihna, all females were open. Now take for the second person of the feminine. Futihat, you female were open. For the dual, we say futihituma, you two females were open. Futihitunna, you all females. Let's to take the first person. For the mutakallim, we say futihtu, I was open. Futihna, we were open. So here in case the bab is fataha, the root letter is fataha, and the masdar is fatahun, and the meaning is to open. Let's have the mudari from the same. We say yuftahu, he is open or will be open. For the dual, we say yuftahani, they too are open or will be. For the plural, we say yuftahuna, they all were open or will be. What about the second person? We say tuftahu, you are open or will be open, single. For dual, we say tuftahani, you two were open or will be open. And plural, tuftahuna, you all are open or will. For the feminine, what we say, tuftahu, she is open or will be open. For dual, we say tuftahani, the two females are open or will be. For plural, we say yuftahna, nun and nusran, nun will come. So they all females are open or will. What about the second feminine, second person feminine? We say tuftahina, you are female, open or will be. Tuftahane for the dual, you two females will. Tuftahna is for the plural, you all females. What about the first person? Uftah, I am open or will open. Nuftahu, we are open. So in this case, Baba's fataha, the root letter word fataha, masdar is fatahan, and the fail is fataha yaftahu. But in this case, for the dari majhul, we say yuftahu, because the pattern is yufalu, mean to open. Fail majhul in slasi muzid fi. This was about the slasi mujarrad. Let's to take making the fail majhul from slasi mazid fi. Rules are like the same as slasi mujarrad. In past dhamma on the first letter fa kalma, and in past kasra below the second letter mean the ain kalma, and in past fatha on the last letter lam kalma. So in babi mufa'ala, the tafa'ul after the fa kalma alif will change with waw. That is a rule. In mudari on the first letter dhamma, that is lamate mudari. On the letter before the last letter is fatha and kalma. There will be no change in rest letters except these two changes in mudari to make or convert a ma'ruf into majhul. For example, allama. So what will be the madi majhul of this letter? This field. Yes. Make majhul from allama.
Ulima.
Ullama, not ulima, because before the last letter we need fatha. So we say ullima, okay. If hasaba, what will be the majhul? Husiba. From aslama, what will be the
Uslam. Uslima.
uslima?
Uslima.
Because adi, the second letter have kasra, okay. From ikhtalafa, what will be the fail majhul? Madi. Of course, ukhtilifa. Ukhtulifa. Okay. Istafara, what will be the Madi Majhul?
Ustaf.
Ustughfira.
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
alif, sin, tha, they are the extra. So actual letter start with ghain for ra. So we will put before below the ghain, the fa second letter and kalma kasra. Ukhtalifa. Look in this the hamza and ta, they are extra. Root letter is kha lam fa. So and kalma is lam. We will put the kasra below the lam. Uslima. The root letter is sin lam. Actually, the lam and kalma is coming in place of lam. So we put the kasra below the lam and kalma. Husiba. The root letter is ha sin ba actually. So the ha is the first letter, sin is the second letter, the and kalma. So we put the kasra. Ulima. And lam mim is the root letter. Mean the lam is the actually the extra letter. Remove this. So, and lam mean the lam is the ain kalma. We put the kasra there. Ulima. So, tadabbura. Tadabbara. What will the majhul mazi? Of course, tudabbira. What about inkalaba? Inkalaba.
Unkuliba.
Unkaliba. Kaliba.
Unkuliba.
Because the root letter is near lam.
Unkuliba.
We find the ain kalma to put the kasra. Okay, what about the mudari majhul from mazid fi? We say you allimu. We have to make the last letter before fatah. So it will be you allam. We have yuhasibu. What will be the mudari majhul?
Yuhasaba.
Yuhasabu.
Yuhasaba.
The mudare sign of dhamma remains same on the last letter. It does not change. Yuhasabu. Okay, yuslimu. What will be the mudari majhul in this case?
Islamu.
Yuslamu. Lam will take the
Islamu.
okay. Yahtalifu. Make it the mudari majhul.
Yuktalafu.
Yes, lam will take the fatha.
Yuktalafu.
Yuktalafu. Okay, yastaghfiru. What will be the mudari majhul in this case?
Yustaghfaru.
Yustaghfaru. Fa will take. Remember the simple letter before the last letter will have fatha. Yatadabbaru. Yutadabbaru already have the fatha. Okay. Yanqalibu. Yunqalabu. Okay. Let's to pray. May Allah help us to recite, understand, ponder, implement, propagate, and memorize the Quran. Subhanallahi wa bihamdihi. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika. Nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Allahumma ighfir lana qabla warhamna indal maut wa la tu'azzibna ba'dal maut wa la tuhasibna yawmal qiyamah innaka ala kulli shay'in qadir. Allah Hafiz. If you people have any questions, your questions are welcome, please. And anything which is not clear, you may ask. But if we have some time, I can explain that. Okay, no question. Let's to recite the supplications once again. Subhanallahi wa bihamdihi. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika. Nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka. اللهم اغفر لنا قبل الموت وارحمنا عند الموت ولا تعذبنا بعد الموت ولا تحاسبنا يوم القيامة إنك على كل شيء قدير. Allah Hafiz, inshallah. See you next week.